Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Wine and Words Wednesday. It is finally hump day, and we are here celebrating with wine and words. Hopefully, you're here with us with your favorite beverage of choice and sitting back after the long workday and relaxing with us for some Wine and Words Wednesday. We are going to be celebrating some holidays this weekend. So we have some poems to celebrate Juneteenth, which is coming up on Friday, June 19th, and Father's Day, which is coming up on Sunday, the 21st. Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States. And like I said, that is on June 19th, which is this Friday. Dating back to 1865, it was on June 19th that the Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Granger, landed in Galveston, Texas with the news that the war had ended and that the enslaved were now free. And we celebrate that every year on June 19th with the reciting of poetry, with parties, with festivals. And I'm going to be celebrating it today with you with the reading of one of my favorite poets, Maya Angelou's Still I Rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Do you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. That was Maya Angelou's Still I Rise. And now coming up on Sunday, on June 21st, we have Father's Day to commemorate our fathers, those that are still here with us and those that have passed on. This is The Trophy, an essay on fatherhood. This is by Jeff Goins. Somewhere buried deep beneath stacks of comic books and other remnants of my childhood is a trophy. It's old and wooden, but in good shape. On the top stands a small figure made of brass. He's playing soccer. There are dark brown stripes along the sides of the trophy and decorations on the front. The whole thing is maybe 18 inches tall. Near the base is a small placard. Somehow, over the years, it has never fallen off. there is an engraving which reads JKG, Most Improved Player. I played soccer for only a few years. For most of my childhood, I was a non-athletic kid whose only claim to fame was a spelling bee medal. I was chubby and sensitive and shy around girls. I didn't get many awards. The trophy. For 2 seasons, when I was in elementary school, my dad coached our boys' soccer team. I couldn't run from one end of the field to the other without getting winded, so I played defense. Dad, who had grown up playing baseball and football, never mentioned it, never called me fat. Instead, he taught me to use my body weight to my advantage. If you don't use your hands, I learned, you could get away with a lot in soccer. My dad taught me to aggressively nudge my opponents out of the way to get the ball. At the end of the year, he gave me the trophy. Later, I learned the County Soccer Association didn't hand out trophies that year. I discovered there was a store near the mall that let you swap figures on old trophies, like a bowler for a soccer player, for example. But I didn't learn this for many years. Not until around the same time I was old enough to understand that our Cocker Spaniel Jessie hadn't run away. A sweet silence. When my dad handed me the award, we exchanged no words. None were necessary. The trophy said it all. Well done. For years it would sit on my shelf, resting near a window, easily seen by passers-by. My dad had a special way of telling me he was proud of me. How he did it was as significant as that he did it, always in a way that he was honest. If my placard had said team's best player, I wouldn't have believed it. I was smart. That would have been insulting. But I could handle most improved. And he couldn't have put a number of variations on it. Instead, he stamped the trophy with 3 important letters, J, K, G. They were my initials, Jeffrey Keith Goins. But they were also his initials. No sign of Junior appeared anywhere. As far as the trophy was concerned, there was no distinction between my father and me. No wonder I never got rid of it. From boy to man. As the years went by and I grew from boy to man, my relationship with my father ebbed and flowed with the patterns and conflicts of life. As all sons do, I eventually came to see my father as a man, a flawed human being, the last thing we want our dads to be. For a season, I let this lead to disillusion. But now, whenever tempted to be disappointed, I recall that trophy, and I remind myself that most dads do the best they know how. The relationship a man has with a father is unlike any other, which really is just a euphemism for weird. The role of these men is to raise us. They teach us how to build a shelf and how to fix a toilet. They model strength and resolve for us. They train us up in honor and integrity and how to ask a girl to the prom, and sometimes they don't. Either way, we grow to admire and even fear them, to hold them to an ideal that would likely mortify them if they knew it. There is a mystery to our fathers, a piece of these men that we never know. Through their silence, they teach us. And this is a part of the legacy our fathers leave us, if we will recognize it. The fatherlessness in us all. There are some sons and daughters who grow up with fathers, and some who do not. Most of us, I've found, are in both groups. We had a dad, but not completely. Or we grew up in a broken home, but others stepped in to fill that gap. Either way, we are forced to maneuver the chaos of puberty, college, and careers, seemingly on our own, but not entirely. The struggle may cause us to grow bitter, even cast blame on our dads for not being there when we needed them most. Or the opposite may be true. We become frustrated because they never empowered us, never let us fail. Whatever the case, we are dissatisfied. This is how all journeys begin, in search of something lost or something never found. As with most journeys, this one leads us to back where we started. Back to awkward dinner conversations and pregnant pauses on the telephone. Back home. Most men I know, and maybe most women, are asking a question their fathers didn't answer. Am I good enough? Do you love me? Why did you do this? Some spend their entire lives agonizing over the answers. As I've grown up, I've realized there were questions my dad simply could not answer, even if he wanted to, and others he already had, in his own way. That was The Trophy by Jeffrey Goins. Thank you so much for joining me today for our little celebration of Juneteenth and of Father's Day. I hope that you enjoyed the poem and the essay, and I hope that you'll have a wonderful weekend, however you choose to celebrate. And come back and join us next week for Wine and Words Wednesday. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye.